Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inshallah, we're going to be reciting from Surah Al-Tariq, ayahs 9 and 10, inshallah. 9 and 10. Surah Al-Tariq is Surah 86. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يوم تبلى السرائر فما له من قوة ولا ناصر.
والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. The day when all the secrets are exposed, then he will have no power nor any helper. जिस दिन तमाम पोशीदा राज ज़ाहिर किए जाएंगे या जिस दिन तमाम पोशीदा राज़ों की जांच पड़ताल की जाएगी, फिर उसके लिए ना कोई ताकत होगी और ना कोई मददगार. In the beginning of the surah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentioned that Sama, the sky, is wetness. And the star is witness. For this purpose that every soul, every insan, every single one of us, male and female, has a hafiz, has someone that observing us. We have someone that looking 24/7 at us. In kullu nafsin lamma alayha hafiz. Many times we think that I'm alone. What I do, we don't want the people to know about our secrets. Many times these crimes are committed, but we don't want the world to know about the crimes. Just like that is mentioned in the beginning, in the previous surah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, قُتِلَ أَصْحَابُ الْأُخْدُودِ النَّارِ ذَاتِ الْوَقُودِ إِذْ هُمْ عَلَيْهَا قُعُودٌ وَهُمْ عَلَى مَا يَفْعَلُونَ بِالْمُؤْمِنِينَ شُهُودٌ. When the people of the trench, thousands and thousands of people were burned alive, Ashab al-Ukhdud, and they didn't allow other people to come, they didn't allow other people to see this. They kept it secret. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in this surah that يَوْمَ تُبْلَى السَّرَائِرُ, the time is coming that every single secret will be exposed and will come up, will be brought up by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it's even that's the history of the past. In the past, many things happened and the people, they kept them secret. And today we see and we hear, every single day we hear in these news that where the crimes are committed, the genocide is committed, where the massacre happened. The people are not allowed to come and visit that place, that area. Even the journalists are not allowed to go there. So why we want our crimes to be secret? We don't allow the world to know about us. And that's the reason that the reality is hidden. But when it comes to individual level, many times we do a'mal. Many times I pray, I give sadaqah, charity, I go for hajj, and I fast, and I do many amal, many actions. But you don't know what was my intention when I did this amal. You don't know about my amal and I don't know about you, because Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he says, يَوْمَ تُبْلَى السَّرَائِرِ, these secrets are related to our intentions. Because when we do something, so many, the world, they know, when we openly and publicly do something, the world knows about that. But there are things that we do, and the people, they don't know. I pray, but you don't know my intention. What is my intention when I come? I do welfare work, but you don't know my intention. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, يَوْمَ تُبْلَى السَّرَائِرِ. The day of judgment is for that thing that every single secret will come up. And how it will come up, Quran Kareem mentioned, number one, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is shahid. وَسِعَ كُرْسِيَّهُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. The kursi, the chair of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, expanded and it encircled, encompassed as-samawat wal-ard, all the heavens and the earths. So Allah knows what's going on in the heavens and what's going on on the earth. So Allah knows about every single one of us. يَعْلَمُ خَائِنَةَ الْأَعْيُنِ وَمَا تُخْفِي الصُّدُورِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what you do with the side, what the treasury, the khiyana that your eyes do, I know about that. What you hide in your heart and you don't expose that to the people, وَمَا تُخْفِي الصُّدُورِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, what you hide in your chest, in your breast, in your mind, I know about it. يَعْلَمُ, I know. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, on the day of judgment, for justification, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala appointed some angels. Quran Kareem says, وَإِنَّ عَلَيْكُمْ لَحَافِظِينَ. Upon every single one of us there are hafizin. And who are hafizin? The angels, on the right side and on the left side, in Surah Al-Infitar. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned that. In Surah Al-Ra'd, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لَهُ مُعَقِّبَاتٌ مِّن بَيْنِ يَدَيْهِ وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِ. For this insan, for this man, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala appointed angels before him and behind him. لَهُ مُعَقِّبَاتٌ مِّن بَيْنِ يَدَيْهِ. Now I'm sitting here, the angels are in front of me. I'm sitting here, the angels are there. The angels on the right, the angels on the left. So all these angels, 24/7, they are observing us. مَا يَلْفِظُ مِنْ قَوْلٍ إِلَّا لَدَيْهِ رَقِيبٌ عَتِيدٌ. Surah Qaf. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, you do not utter any single letter, any single word, but the angels, they write it. But if you think, and I think that, okay, I didn't do anything, I didn't expose my action to the people, so no one knows about that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, يَوْمَ تُبْلَى السَّرَائِرِ. When the sara'ir, that you kept them secret in this dunya, in this life, nobody knows about it. Those sara'ir, even the angels, they don't know about the unseen things. The angels that are sitting here, they don't know the unseen things. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, your intention, I know that. And how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentioned in Surah Al-Adiyat, وَحُصِّلَ مَا فِي الصُّدُورِ. Whatever are in the chests, in the breast, inside your hearts, that will be brought up. So the witnesses are the angels. The witnesses are Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But there are other things witnesses. Quran Kareem says, وَالسَّمَاءِ وَالطَّارِقِ. The sky is witness. Where you will hide. where I will hide these walls in every single place. The hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says that on the day of judgment, the place, the earth, and the part of the land where any good amal or any sin committed, they will be witness for or against the person on the day of judgment. Where can we hide? Quran Kareem says, اليوم نختم على أفواههم وتكلمنا أيديهم وتشهد أرجلهم بما كانوا يكسبون. On the day of judgment, the hands will speak, and the feet will speak. I committed this sin. This man, he asked me to do that. These hands will be testifying for us or against us. يوم تشهد عليهم ألسنتهم وأيديهم وأرجلهم بما كانوا يعملون. So how many things are watching and observing us? When we see just one camera, that there is one camera, so right away we slow down, we stop. When we hear that there is camera, when the GPS says that the camera is ahead, so we slow down. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala 24/7, He's watching us. 4 angels 24/7 are watching us. And then our own limbs, parts of the body, they are witnesses. Then the sky is witness, the stars are witness, and everything in our surrounding, the place where I'm sitting here, that is witness. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, يَوْمَ تُبْلَى السَّرَائِرِ. The day of judgment is for that purpose, that the sara'ir will be exposed. And sara'ir is the plural of sarira. Sarira, there is another word, sir, but this is sarira. Sir is a secret, but sarira is the secret that highly protected and guarded, that completely hidden. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not talking about the sir, He is talking about the sarir, that in this dunya, nobody knew about that. You didn't even tell any single person in this dunya, you kept it completely to yourself, and that was totally confidential something. But what you did, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, that is something that I will bring it upon the day of judgment. And once these all things come up, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, once it happened, فَمَا لَهُ مِنْ قُوَّةٍ. Then this man, this insan, will have no strength, no power, no quwwah. وَلَا نَاصِرٌ, nor he will have any helper. So in this dunya, we commit crimes, and then we are protected. Even the world, if they come to know about my crime, but many times I'm not questioned. Why? Because I am someone that has power. There are people that they are committing these crimes because they have their army. Fir'aun is mentioned in the previous surah. Allah mentioned that the fara'ina of this world, this dunya, they keep their a'mal secret, their genocides, their crimes, they keep them secret. But why? Because the world, they cannot ask them. If you ask them, you commit crime. You do something wrong when you talk and when you speak up. You are the sinner if you did that, if you spoke. Why? Because the person who committed the original crime, that's someone who has power. And sometimes the person himself, he is weak, he has no power, but he has others protect him. So now we see in the world that there are people, there are countries, there are some powerful people in this world that they actually covers the crimes of others. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says on the day of judgment, فَمَا لَهُ مِنْ قُوَّةٍ وَلَا نَاصِرٍ. There will be no power for that individual who committed this crime. وَلَا نَاصِرٍ, nor any helper. So you will have no, you yourself will be powerless, helpless. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this message He is giving us in these ayat, that once you do something, whenever you want to do something, do that with your mind, with the intention that you will be questioned. لِلَّهِ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ. For Allah is the heavens and the earth, the authority of the heavens and the earth. وَإِن تُبْدُوا مَا فِي أَنفُسِكُمْ أَوْ تُخْفُوهُ يُحَاسِبُكُم بِهِ اللَّهُ. You do something publicly or you do something privately, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, يُحَاسِبُكُم بِهِ اللَّهُ. Allah will do the accountability of your amal on the day of judgment. So nothing is hidden. Nothing is hidden. Even though we just cover ourselves that nobody knows about my actions, about my intentions, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He knows about that. يخرج من بين يوم تبلى السرائر. The day when the sarair, the top hidden secrets will be exposed. Yawma, the day, tubla, when they are exposed. What? As-sarair, the top secrets. Fama lahu, then he will have no, who means man, human being. Fama lahu, he will have no min quwwatin of power, wala nasir, nor any helper. Yawma, that day, tubla as-sarair, all the secrets will be exposed. فَمَا لَهُ مِنْ قُوَّةٍ, then he will have no power, وَلَا نَاصِرٍ, nor any helper. يَوْمَ, that day, تُبْلَى السَّرَائِرُ, all the sarair, the secrets will be exposed. فَمَا لَهُ, so he will have no min quwwa, power, wala nasir, or any helper. Urdu tarjuma. Yawma, जिस दिन तुबल सराइर, तमाम पोशीदा राज जाहिर किए जाएंगे. जिस दिन तमाम पोशीदा राज जाहिर किए जाएंगे. फमा लहू मिन कुव्वा, तो उसके लिए कोई ताकत नहीं होगी. किसके लिए? लहू ज़मीर गोज़ टू इंसान, तो इंसान के लिए कोई ताकत नहीं होगी. वला नासिर, और ना कोई मददगार. यौम तुबल सराइर, जिस दिन तमाम पोशीदा राज खुल जाएंगे, ज़ाहिर किए जाएंगे. फमा लहू मिन कुव्वतिन वला नासिर, तो उसके लिए ना कोई ताकत होगी और ना कोई मददगार. अक़ूल क़ौली हाज़ा व अस्तग़फ़िरुल्लाह.
Jazakumullah khair. We'll look through these ayat in terms of the tajweed. So it's only two, so very easy. Yawma tub, we have a ba with a sukoon, which means, what's the rule called? Qalqala. Very good. Yawma tub, bounced on the ba. Tub. Las-sarair, we have a mad inside a word. What's that rule called? Mad? Munfasil or muttasil? Which one?
He said
Muttasil, right? Muttasil, it means it's connected. So we're going to stretch for 4. We have to stretch for 4, right? So this ayah is going to be recited. يَوْمَ تُبْلَى السَّرَائِرُ.
يوم تبلى السرائر.
When we stop on the...
It is muttasil and munfasil.
So muttasil is when the mad is inside the same word as the hamza. So the hamza and the mad are together inside the same word. The mad and the hamza are together inside the same word. Munfasil is when the mad is at the end of one word and the next word starts with a hamza. That's munfasil, right? And so we talked about last time, we said that if it's munfasil, right, then I can recite it with 2 or 4. So for example, I can say Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, or I can say يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا, right? So 2 or 4 if it's munfasil. But if it's muttasil, right? If you have the mad and the hamza in the same word, then I have to stretch for 4. For example, أولئك, one word, right? أولئك, right? So we just keep in mind that if the mad and hamza are in the same word, we have to stretch for 4. So we just recite that one more time. Also, before that, we're ending on a ra here, but the letter before the ra has a kasra, and so because of that, the ra is going to become light. So we don't say sara'ir. That's a heavy ra. Okay, ir is a heavy ra, right? So we say sara'il. Try to keep your tongue flat on the top of your mouth. Sara'il, il, right? If you let your tongue drop down, right, you're going to create some empty space inside your mouth, and that's going to create the heaviness of the ra. We don't want that, right? Sara'ir is wrong when you drop the middle of your tongue. What you want to do is press your tongue at the top of your mouth. Sara'ir. And your tongue becomes flat on the top of your mouth. All right, so we say that one more time. يوم تبلى السرائر.
يوم تبلى السرائر.
فما له من قو. We have here nun sakin followed by qaf. It's ikhfa, but the letter that comes after the nun sakin is a heavy letter, qaf, right? So we're not going to say min quwwa, we're going to say min quwwa. See, the difference is, again, if I drop my tongue, min, and I let air be accessible inside my mouth, that's how I'm going to create the heaviness. Versus if I push my tongue up, then it's going to be light. In this case here, we don't want to do that. So min quwwa is wrong. It has to be min quwwa, right? So we have heavy ikhfa. So that also, of course, has gunnah. Min quwwatin wala. We have a tanween on a tam marbuta followed by a waw. So we are going to merge into the waw and hold it for the gunnah. So quwwatin wala. Let the sound come through your nose. Quwwatin wala. We hold for 2. Wala nasir. And the same thing here. The ra, before it comes a kasra, so we're going to make the ra light. Nasir, sir, and I keep my tongue to the top of my mouth. So this ayah is going to be recited as فَمَا لَهُ مِن قُوَّةٍ وَلَا نَاصِرٍ.
فما له من قوة ولا ناصر.
فما له من قوة ولا ناصر.
فما له من قوة ولا ناصر.
Let's recite those 2 ayahs one more time. يوم تبلى السرائر.
يوم تبلى السرائر.
فما له من قوة ولا ناصر.
فما له من قوة ولا ناصر. جزاكم الله خيرا.
Make the first one every
ماشي. جزاكم الله خير.
One more time. So a couple of things here. The فَمَا لَهُ, right? Only 2. So we don't stretch this longer than 2. Only 2. فَمَا لَهُ, just that short. And then مِن, make it heavy. مِن قُوَّةٍ, get a wow in there. Tiwala. No, first one. Min quwwatin wa. One back. Quwwatin, because you gotta anticipate the wow. You gotta merge into the wow. Quwwatin wala. Quwwatin. Yeah, there you go.
Jazakumullah. Bismillah. Hafiz sir? Jazakallah khair. MashaAllah. Shay sir?